Everything that's truly right for you will make you feel at ease. That's pretty shocking, isn't it? Doesn't say, I mean, initially it's not shocking. Initially it's like, oh, that's beautiful. Everything that's truly right for me will make me feel at ease, which is great, except we've been conditioned to feel like we don't deserve anything. Nothing that we don't work for. So when things happen easily, we don't register it. We don't get it. We kind of trivialize it. We kind of think, oh no, work is supposed to be tough. So, I have to work. I have to work for my money. I can't just get it. It can't just be given to me because I don't deserve it. So if it's easy, no. I want it to be hard. Or relationships. Oh no, that we steered away from people who are easy towards people who are difficult. We're attracted to people who are difficult, which is crazy. So, everything that's truly right for you will make you feel at ease is true, but we won't register it. We'll overlook it. We'll think, oh, that doesn't count. Whether you're an artist or, like artists, it's very hard for artists, and I speak from personal experience here. If things come easily, we think, oh no, I must have to work a bit harder. That I just did this line. It was beautiful. It's perfect. Now let me just fiddle with it a bit. So yeah, it's true, but can we be conscious enough and easy and loving of ourselves enough to see that? Everything that's truly right for you will choose you as quickly as you choose it. It's kind of the same. No. That happened way too easily and way too quickly. Let me think about it a bit more. Let me work at it a bit more. Let me ruminate on it. Let me go and ask people about it. And there's a lot to be said for doing a lot of those things. But we overlook the simplicity of what's truly right for us and the gut feeling, Like when you have a gut feeling, you have a full body yes about something. Do we listen to that? Do we trust it enough? Do we know it well enough to kind of go, yeah, I had a full body yes on that. I am going to do that. I don't think so. I think we're much more predisposed to, we'll feel the full body yes, and we'll just discount it. We'll go, yeah, not so sure. What about the commute? Or what about the mole on their cheek? Or what about the bathroom in the house? You get a full body yes about the house and the location, but then our mind likes to have a say about something, and it kind of goes, yeah, but I'm not so sure about that bathroom. And then we fixate on the bathroom. So we begin to see why everything that's truly right for us, we don't notice it so much. Everything that's truly right for us will come as a surprise and a certainty, as like we were expecting it and it's a surprise. That doesn't make any sense, and yet that's the way it is. But because it doesn't make any sense, we just, again, it's so easy for us to just trivialize it and go, yeah, no, I don't think that's truly right for me because I feel very strange. I feel simultaneously surprised, and yet I knew it was going to happen. I'm kind of, there's a sort of a sense of like, yep, there's no surprise there. I knew that was going to happen. And yet I'm kind of surprised at the same time. And that kind of hurts my brain, and it's too much, and it's too easy, it's too serendipitous. And yeah, I have a full body yes about it, but let me think about it a bit more. And so we go for the, we go for what looks good on paper, but isn't good for us, is not good for our heart. And what makes us feel a bit dead but you know, it ticked all the boxes. And then we wonder why we're miserable and why there's no excitement and joy and adventure in our lives. Because we have sucked it all out with our mind, you know, and our mind is, it's great. I'm using it right now to make these words, to talk to you and to work the camera and to, you know, do all this kind of thing. And it's great for that kind of thing. It's just, it's so good at so many things, it can feel like it's in charge and that it has to be in charge of everything. And there's all the magic in life happens outside of all this stuff. You know, it happens in the gaps between the thoughts, you know? And unless your mind can kind of be okay with that, it's not going to open up any of those gaps. It's going to keep slamming the gaps together because it's like, no, I'm in charge here. I'm in charge of everything. Everything, I'm in charge of everything. And you know, when it is in charge of everything, it's like, because it's limited. Our minds are limited. Don't tell that to your mind, but it's true. They're limited, even though if you're very clever, if you could have a super high IQ, it doesn't matter. There's still a limit to what your mind can be conscious of. You know, there's a Zen thing about a sword can't cut itself, right? Which is like, what? You know, that's in there with the one hand clapping thing and all that thing. I knew a guy years ago who he was like, oh, what's the sound of one hand clapping? Oh yeah, I'm pondering on that. And he was like to his mother, hey mother, you know, ponder this. What's what's the sound of one hand clapping? And his mother kind of thought for a second and went, you can't hear it, but you can actually make your hand clap with one hand. And he was like, no, wait, no. So that's the way our mind can kind of be. It can go like, oh wow, I know this. Particularly spiritual concepts, our mind kind of gloms onto them like, oh, now I know that. Oh, I read the Bhagavad Gita, or I read this thing, or I read that. Now I know it, you know. And of course it doesn't. All it does is it knows the words, it knows the concepts. But the knowledge, the profound knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, it happens in the gaps. So you have to make space. You have to make peace with your mind. Your mind has to make peace with the fact that it doesn't know it all. In fact, it knows very little. In fact, my experience, my mind, or my frontal awareness, it's the least resourced part of me. Yet it has to deal with everything in existence. I have to deal with the postman and the gas bill and all that stuff. Okay, I don't have gas, but you get the idea. It has to deal with all that stuff. And yet it's got the least amount of profound knowledge. It's the least amount of, it knows so little of the real deeper realities that are going on. So unless there's a harmony inside where my mind can surrender to the things that it doesn't actually know and kind of go, well, that's, I don't know, then there's a constriction in life. There's everything starts to go a bit gray. Have you noticed how everything starts to go a bit gray? And the joy is gone, you know? That's the nice thing about kids is they don't have that yet. Their mind hasn't really crunched in on them yet. So they just don't care. They're just free and spontaneous and they see everything. They see the magic everywhere and everything is wonderful and adventurous, you know? But that's in us. It's still in us. It's just we have to re-find it and return to it. And return and become sensitive to everything that's right for us. It's easy, it's serendipitous. It feels like a surprise and a certainty all at the same time. And all these conflicting, beautiful things when it's just easy. So, yeah, let's just do what's easy. Not what's, hang on, I was about to wrap that up. I don't mean, well, let me just lie on the couch and do nothing. I'm not talking about that. Or I need to have a difficult conversation with somebody. I'm not going to have it because it's not easy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you're moving along through life and something appears to you, that we automatically discount something that's easy, something that's serendipitous, something that's doesn't require work. Okay? Strangely, if you have to have a difficult conversation with somebody and you feel a lot of resistance to it, but you know it's the right thing to do inside, that's the easy thing to do, because you have probably have had the experience of not doing it. You know, I need to have a difficult conversation with somebody on Monday. Let me put it off till Tuesday. You know, like there's a famous what is a quote from Mark Twain? You know, never put off till tomorrow what you could put off till the day after tomorrow. But that doesn't work with difficult stuff. So if you put off the difficult conversation on Monday to Tuesday, on Tuesday it's even more difficult. The conversation has become more difficult. If you put it off to Wednesday, it's become even more difficult. The feeling of like, oh God, I really don't have that conversation now. It just grows and grows and grows. So it's actually easier to do it, and there'll be a movement of serendipity. The person appears, or they ring you, and your insides are going full body, yes, I need to say it to them now. Or they've just appeared, they just dropped in. What? You know, they never drop in. Why have they dropped in? Oh my God, I have to say it to them now. That's the ease I'm talking about. I don't mean to take the easy path. I mean there's ease in the action.